right? You want your private time. But my point is this. We did what we had to do. Now, at the time, I was a very devout Christian, okay? Very devout, 100%. So devout. But we were financially hurting, okay? And I would often read on the stage the article, would read it. And, I'd sit down in between, not knowing the whole time my feet were talking. I had no idea. My feet were talking. Somebody came up to me later. Hey, you know what? Can you meet me after? Like, in about a couple hours. Can you meet me? Yeah, okay, sure. Well, where are we going? Just come with us. Okay, sure, all right. Where are we going? I'll pick you up. How about that? Oh, good, because I don't have a ride. I just get shuttled here, literally. I find a ride from people that, want to bring me. And so thank you for that. Okay, yeah, I'll be ready. 2 hours. Awesome, good, okay. I'm going to go home now. Okay, all right, bye. Went home. Where? He never asked me out. Sure, him and his wife actually used to, take care of me when I was young and, like, a baby. Seriously. And then when I was 5 years old, I'd always watch Pinocchio. Pinocchio was like the thing. I think that was the only video they thought I liked. I was like, this is so boring after the second time. But I was a kid, so I'd watch it anyway. I hated Pinocchio after that. But back to the couple, okay? He took me to the mall. We gonna eat? I want to take you to JCPenney. Okay. That's weird. Didn't think anything of it. JCPenney, right? Took me to the shoe aisle. Aaron, hate to tell you this, but your shoes are talking. Huh? Your shoes are talking to me. My shoes are what are you talking about? The flap below is talking to me. Oh, I did not even notice that. Now, here's what he didn't know. My wife and I at that time had only $20 to our name that week. And I didn't have the heart to say no. I wanted to. And I was embarrassed. Who knew my shoes were talking about how little we had money? They were just flapping. They weren't even loud like that. He just took the time to notice his shoes are talking. And I'll be honest, I didn't cry then. I was embarrassed. I said, Phil, sorry, that's his name. Phil, again, I wasn't like this. Whew. Thank you. But I really don't need them. I know I'll be fine. And God always provides. I'm pretty sure he'll provide. I know. I just don't want your shoes talking to me, okay? I said, all right, well, I'm going to pay you back. No. He said, I don't want money back. I just want your shoes to stop talking. All right, Phil. And of course, I did the right thing, right? Look for the cheapest item, right? The cheapest one. I was like, oh man, because I don't want him to spend money on me. I don't want him to spend money on me, but he already took me there. And if I had known, I would have said, I'm good. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'll figure it out. Thanks for telling me. I'll go buy my own shoes. Darn it. But he took me, not telling me why. And in that moment, I appreciated him more than I ever had. I was grateful in that moment. And sometimes when times are tough, I get reminded of that. I don't know his financial status. He never really... I remember hearing he had a company later, and I think he sold it, but he was always a very humble man. him and his wife. Humble, humble, humble. She was the kind of person you would see. She was only 4'8". Her name's Susie. Bundle of joy. No matter who needed it, she'd say, "You need a hug." And she had this very high-pitched sound. I'm not going to imitate it. "You need a hug." That's how it sounded in my head. "Oh, Susie, I do. Come here," she'd say. And she's always, 4'11", right? With heels, all right? I don't know if she, but anyway, she died. Her and her husband managed the apartments my mom has lived in for quite some time. But my point in saying that is this. Her and him always gave of themselves, 100%. There are people that only talk about giving, and then there are people that do it without even knowing other people are ever going to find out. Well, I'm here to tell you right here, right now, that name, Phil Hernandez, let that stick in your mind. Because Phil Hernandez, at a very young age, at 19, taught me something about, one, just sometimes you just got to take the person by the hand and go buy them some shoes. And on the flip side of that, sometimes you just got to be humble yourself enough. Because I'm not going to lie, I kind of fought him for, I think, a good 3 minutes. "Oh, no, Phil, I'm good, I'll figure it out. Don't worry, it's fine." "Yeah, I know," he'd say, "I know, and if you can, you will, but whatever, okay? Just buy the shoes." I don't know your shoe size," he says, "so yeah, I brought you." He didn't want to make me feel bad. He simply wanted to do the right thing, and I remember him paying for it. He never asked for a handout. He never even asked to be told to the world. But I'm here to tell you right now, Phil Hernandez and Susie Hernandez, loving. I love those two. She may no longer be with us in physical form, but that man, loving. Still loving. Found himself another woman, to which I say, thank God. But I remember having a conversation with him once. He was like, "I just can't move on. I love my wife. I love her." By then, she had died of cancer. It was a terrible disease. I remember walking into the house, the apartment that her and him lived in, humble house, and seeing her not to her usual self. This was a woman who gave of herself. "You need a hug." I know. Sometimes even when you didn't need a hug, she would say, "You need a hug." And she'd give just, she wouldn't even ask details. She was very caring, very loving. Her and him babysat me at a very young age. And I loved her. I love her. Sometimes when we say loved, I feel that's neither here nor there. There's a scripture that says, they're locked away in God's memory. Some people take issue with that. Some others feel, no, they're living, they're in heaven right now. Others say, well, maybe there's reincarnation and they moved on. And I think sometimes when we die, whether we're in God's memory, locked up for some time, some people believe that, it is a thing. Some people believe they're in heaven ruling right now. Some people feel they're just there, trying to help them out. Some people feel they're stuck, tethered to the earth. Any way you believe, I feel, at the end of the day, our emotions, our thought processes, well, what's going to happen when I die? Will I look at those around me and go, man, I wish I could help you guys out? I think all of us would do that. To which a version of me kind of feels as though maybe some got it right. Meaning, maybe they're the ones helping us out behind the scenes. Still working. A lot of people talk about heaven. Heaven is work. Woo, you don't believe me. If you look at the Holy Book, okay, we'll just put this out there. The Holy Book talks about those that would reign as kings and priests in heaven. That's a lot of work. Agree or disagree? That's a lot of work. Kings and priests. Some people go, you ask them, what are you going to do when you get to heaven? I don't know. I don't even know what heaven's like. There's a little bit of a telltale sign written in Revelation talking about kings and priests. An anointed class, right? An anointed class that goes into heaven to rule as kings and priests in heaven. Over what, you ask? Who knows, right? Well, I kind of know, but you know what? Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's not even like that. Maybe, because there's a lot of theories floating around there, okay? I'll give you another theory. Others say, no, it's not like that. It's actually just when you die, you go to the other realm, but you go in one of two realms. And based on that realm, based on the goods and the bad deeds that you've done, to which I say, I don't know about that. I'm going to disagree on that one. The latter one. Heaven or hell? Heaven or hell? Heaven or hell? Right? We get that all the time. Is it heaven? Is it hell? Is it heaven? Is it hell? Which are you going to? Whoa, just a minute here, I think God says in his mind. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. You would think I would come up with hell, torture, hellfire, burning, all of that stuff for something you did for a year or two out of your entire life? What kind of God do you think I am? You're a vindictive God. You hate people. Right? Well, where did that come from? Agree or disagree? You know, some people don't like religion in general, especially Christianity. You know why? They say it's control. I'm going to have to agree on some of that. And here's why. Do you know that there were a lot of kings that interjected their own thoughts about certain things that had been written so that they could control the people and the masses? Don't believe me? Look at especially the medieval times. I love that history, but I'd hate to live in that history because the only ones gifted with the information were those that were technically able to read of the scripture. You know, a lot of people were illiterate. Don't believe me? Look at the teeth, right? They didn't even know what brushing was, right? Decaying, gross, decrepit. But many were poor, suffering, illiterate, and they just had to do whatever the king and or the church had to say. Thank God for separation from... Well, do we ever have that sometimes? Sometimes we do, right? Sometimes we don't. But there were certain kings that said, you know what, no, that doesn't work for me, okay? Dogma. I'm going to interject a dogma. Don't believe me. His name? Constantinople. Research his name. You're going to find out so much information about him. He technically wanted to unite people. True or untrue, I don't care what you say. But there was just something about the religious faith. He just said, I'm going to interject something in there of my own. A dogma that would live on through centuries. Don't believe me? Do the research. But I'm not here to teach what's true or untrue. At the end of the day, hellfire. If you quote the scripture, there's really no... There's certain ones talked about fire and sulfur, Hades, okay? There's ones that talk about certain things, but then there's some that are just symbolic, right? Do the math, okay? Just do the math. Let's just take away all he said, she said, okay? Let's just wipe that all away, all right? Let's use our thinking mind, okay? Just for a minute. What is more loving? To throw somebody into an eternal, what's the phrase you hear a lot? Damnation, hellfire, you gotta burn. You're going to burn for all the bad you've done. That right there, wrong. If you're going to bring anybody to God, you do not say, you're going to die for all your sin. You just don't. You know why? I'll give you an example you probably can imagine in your own mind, okay? A father and son or daughter, okay? The father sees his son doing some pretty bad over there, okay? Getting into drugs, all right? Oh, man. Thought we talked about that. Okay. They try to help him out. I don't need your help. Let me help you out. I don't need it. I'm good. I got this. Some of you are parents and you've had this discussion as of late. I know because I've had 3 of them last week of parents that are dealing with this right now. All right. I don't know what to do. Call up a recovery center, I say. Get some necessary help. I'm the last person to offer that type of advice because I'm not a specialist. I never went through it. Okay. But the kid continues on, fights it, right? There's no law that says that the person has to get off drugs. There's nothing to enforce that. They have to want to. And unfortunately, it's sad. It's a sad situation that unfortunately sometimes the lowest become lowest because they don't accept the help at the beginning because they think they know it all. They think they're right. They think they're okay. And you can't hurt them for that. Not really. Back to the daughter. The daughter's taking part in something that, well, let's face it. She does so much bad that it's kind of shameful for the family. Okay? Agree, disagree. It's shameful. You find out about it. You say, well, I think you need help. I'm God. You hear that? I'm God. You mean you're good? No, I'm God. I make decisions for myself. I don't need another God. I'm God. Agree, disagree. I mean, can you form the whole universe in your mind or create everything to put it in its place? Are you 100% sure you want to do that? Yeah, I'm God. Got it. Because I'm God. Okay. Wow. Okay. Son, daughter, father. The one on the left, you're right, my left. Son, my house is open to you whenever you want to come. That's all you need to know. And by the way, I'm thinking about you. Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. I need help. Whatever you need, I'll make it so. Thanks, Dad. The daughter, you know I'm still thinking of you. I know. You ready to come back home? No. I don't want to live by your rules. I want to live by my rules. You still have a place. Whatever. You know what? I know look, here. I don't need it. I know you don't. But here anyway. I don't want it. Okay. Secretly deposits money into her account, right? Just enough, not too much. He knows she has now a drug problem. Started with something else. The son comes back. And unfortunately has a lot of bouts of depression, sadness, and more drugs. He just doesn't talk about it. Went through recovery. Recovery wasn't long enough. Ends up poorer, sadder, frustrated, mad, and angry, but he has a roof over his head. Father all the time, how can I help him? How can I help him? Any parent knows they have this in their heart, stuck there. And sometimes you can only do so much, but you do what you can. I'm sorry. Some people don't know what to do. Thank God for Google. They do the research, right? What can I do to help my family recover from this? I don't know what it is. I'm not a specialist. I've never gone through this. What can I do? What can I do? What can I... there it is. If you don't believe me, look at my Facebook page. The very top, recovery. SOBA Recovery Centers, okay? Make a call to that number. This isn't an infomercial to make a call. Make a call to any recovery center. But I will tell you, these people have their right He himself talks about, in a separate interview, Greg Hanley, talks about going through addiction himself. He knows what it's like, and he sometimes will come out of his big grand office. He's a millionaire, by the way. Don't believe me. He did the interview on his yacht, okay? He's got money. But he puts his money where his mouth is. Sometimes his hands are tied. That's in the bigger interview about government, about people making promises, about, oh, we'll help you out to help our lowest ones that need help. To which I say, take the word lowly out and just say those that need help. Help him out, government. Some people, including themselves, have no money for these rehab centers. To which Greg Hanley, doing the right thing, does a lot from what he can and what he does. But he told me in another interview, unfortunately, a lot of these 3-day programs, no wonder they don't work. You need at least 3 months, at least, of a total recovery center. He has gone out of his way for friends of his own that are high-profile celebrities that have been put down to the very bottom, going to other recovery centers, not getting retreated right. And he has a magazine that comes out quite regularly about these stories of people that have completely recovered from one end to the end. But he says that typically takes, honestly, a good 6 months. It's not cheap, people. $60,000 for a 6-month organization, which I said to him, I said, so if you had the money, how much would you need? At minimum, he said at least $30,000. That gets him at least 3 months. Now, some would say, well, that's a lot of money. It's profiting out. No, you know how many employees and professionals that are necessary? And a lot of these have gone through the process themselves, which is why if you're going to send anybody to anybody, you send them to somebody that will understand and not judge them for the hitting rock bottom. I get frustrated, I get mad, and I get upset. You know why? Because there's so many people saying God doesn't love people. He wants to throw them to the hell fire, and he wants them to suffer for all the bad and or bad that they've done, when in reality, was it really his fault? Is he not asking for help? Is he not wanting help? And some of these die by suicide. I take issue with that when people say, oh, well, suicides go to a different place. Well, you know what? They probably do, because it wasn't the end of their time. God probably says, hey, you got to do it again. Come on, you got to push through that. You got to push. But I can almost guarantee you, he doesn't lock them away in a hellfire. Right? I think you know who wants us to think that? The other guy. Because he's like, oh, God hates you. He doesn't love you. Come to me. I'll show you the way. Sure, you might have to do some things for me, sell your soul, do whatever I do. Just show me loyalty. Just show me loyalty. That's it. Do more bad, to cause more bad, to bring little Johnny down. There's a whole organized organization out there making and bringing people down to the very bottom, making money and profiteering. I'm not talking about big corporations. I'm talking about drug traffickers. Johnny's whole life, from then on, because he can't get or go to a recovery center, which healthcare, being all it's supposed to be, isn't doing the right thing and taking care of our homeless, many of them with drug addict problems. Don't believe me, and or alcohol. How many times have you seen one completely sober? Rare indeed, is it not? Back to Johnny. In that month, he dies. His human father, depressed, mad, sad, angry. I hate you, God! To which I think the man upstairs goes, if only you knew. I was trying to help him the whole time. Yeah, I'm frustrated, mad, and sad because there's an evil one just constantly bringing these people down on purpose. And I wish somebody would step up and do the right thing for me. I don't want you to hate me. And Johnny's there by their side. Johnny, you want to help him out? I don't know if I can. And you can now, you don't have addiction. Is that simple? Yes. Or do you want to you want to help him out, don't you? Yeah. He can't hear you, though. I know. He just needs this, this, and that. Oh, I know what he needs, but my hands are tied. My hands got tied a long time ago. I can do only so much, but I need you to help your dad out. He tried to help you. Here, I'm going to give you the rewind edition. You know what you went through. You don't know about all the people that you impacted. Here you go. Remember It's a Wonderful Life? You remember that? Great story. The angel comes down, talks to the man, because he's just like, I don't want to be here. My life is done. Whatever. I lost all my money, lost everything. I just don't want to be here. He's ready to jump off the bridge. Remember that? The angel comes to him. Whoa. Hey. How you doing? Cheerful angel, right? Hey, what? Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Shows him. Takes him along. Well, that's Johnny. Yeah, Johnny was great. He was great, but that's him now because you were never there for him. Huh? Don't believe me. Watch It's a Wonderful Life. But I think that happens already. I think God has the rewind button. Says, okay, I'm going to show you your dad's perspective, okay? Whoop! Within an instant. All the memories from the dad's perspective. You didn't think he loved you, but behind the scenes, he was doing so much. He was really trying. But you didn't want to go to rehab. And he couldn't make you. There's no law on earth that makes you. He wanted to help you, but you had to want to help yourself. Oh, wow. Oh, Dad. Sorry. I think God has a personal one-on-one himself with each and every person when we get there. Anyway, back to the daughter, okay? The daughter refuses help. Left and right. But suddenly, somebody comes to her aid, a family friend. The family friend says, hey, I need to talk to you just for a minute. Okay, sure, what do you want? I want to give you some money. It's my birthday? I want to give you some money, but just want to talk to you for a minute, okay? Okay. I recently went through a bad phase in my life. It was so bad. You know cocaine? No, I don't know it. Never heard of it. Yeah, just bear with me. I was an addict myself. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't want anybody to know. So I got help, and I got help. That's all you need to know. So I'd like to help you. Help yourself. What do you mean? I'm good. I know you are. But, I want to help you out. The conversation goes on for a decade because she still doesn't want help. But now her life, worse ever. Terrible within the decade. And finally, she says, hey, friend, can you help me out? Of course. I always said, because she left her with this, I never judge you. I know what it's like to be an addict. I get it. I never judge you. I hope I never go back. But yeah, of course. You come to me whenever you need anything. 100%. I'll be here. Okay. I think some of us are a little too judgmental. Maybe we didn't go through it ourselves. Maybe we think, oh, it's so easy to get away from that drug substance, which is an addictive quality already. So we need to be less judgmental. Because I think at the end of the day, God says, you know what? I'm going to judge you myself. I know, you took it from a family friend. They're the one that gave you that drug. I get it. But you know what? I blame them more than I blame you. Oh, they'll get it soon enough. But I don't blame you, Johnny. I know you did a lot of drugs. It started off with a harmless drug known as marijuana. And as harmless as that was, you just tried to deal with your anxiety, your frustration, your anger, your madness, your sadness. You just tried to deal with it all. And you didn't know how to deal with it. You couldn't hear me. I was trying to come to you in all different ways. All those friends, okay, let me show you those friends. That. I actually came to you through them, but you didn't want to listen to them. Then I came at this point, right there and there and there. I was trying to help you the whole time. Yeah, I got a universe to run, but, it can wait. I'm able to segment myself into multiple different dimensions to be able to help each and every person out, some way, some shape, some fashion. But this particular moment, you see this moment? That was your dad. I didn't help him. He helped you or wanted to help you himself. You know why? He has what I have in me, love for you, no matter what. That's why he hates me so much. But he only hates me because he doesn't understand you're actually alive and well here now. But it hurts the people that are on the earth. They can't see our realm. They can't even see you, Johnny. They're not ready. What do I need to do? Well, I've appointed a certain amount of angels to take care of this earth, but boy, they're busy. They're like all pretty much, see it's so empty here? They're out there doing lots of work, lots of saving behind the scenes. Let me show you. Whoop. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And you had 25 angels just trying to keep the harm from happening. But free will, you decide to keep doing that. I can't blame you though. I can't blame you. But here's what I can do. Offer a solution, okay? You want to do the right thing now? Yeah. All right, here we go. They're all busy, but I'm going to give you a certain task. Okay, there's a computer right there. It's a heavenly computer, okay? That computer actually gives you a lot of cool tools to your disposal, okay? You can help guide in that, but you can't make decisions for him, okay? You can't tell him what to do. I mean, you can offer advice through a family friend. They might be inspired. They have all of a sudden, those calls people make all of a sudden, and they're like, I don't know why, but I'm just thinking about you. And you make the call, ring, ring, and wow, I was just thinking about you too. It's so weird, right? Yeah, I just like, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Well, what's going on? That happens more often. People don't even realize that's us behind the scenes trying to push them a little, interjecting a little thought into their head to say, you know what? That person you've never thought of, give them a call. Or go visit them, abruptly so. And Johnny, I'm going to give you that ability, okay? It's a control panel. It's really cool. Just, it's all ready for you. I'm going to give you a little, let me put this little button on your forehead. Boop. There you go. All right, cool. Now you know, right? Okay, that was it. There you go. That's how knowledge very fast. I think technology is amazing up there, right? What we know as technology is not technology, but you get it. So Johnny goes over there, gets to the control panel, checking stuff out. That's interesting. Well, let's see. Oh my God, oh no, I didn't know he was going through that too. My sister needs help? Oh no. I didn't even think about my sister. I thought she was okay. I thought she was living the high life. She always told me she was making a lot of money. I didn't know she was selling the drugs that she was taking. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Hey God? Yeah. How do I help them with this? Well, technically, it's like right there, okay? That's how you help them. Thanks, God. They go to the control panel. Oh, okay, I get it, thank you. Oh, by the way, time is different here than there, just so you know, okay? So their milliseconds are more like a century here, in theory. It's a little less, but, just compensate for time. That's why you're given so much time. So I'm giving you a lot of other stuff to do as well, and you can have fun the majority of the time, but you need to focus on this first. Does that make sense? So focus on this first, and there you go. Okay. So little Johnny goes up to the control panel, does his thing, and that takes a total of 3 months in heaven. And that's the like span of time of I agree to disagree. Okay, the math is off, but whatever. So in reality, he takes a lot of time to start to try to put hopefully things in pieces in place to make sure everything lines up perfectly. And then he walks away. He comes back the very next day. That should have worked, right, God? Yeah, that should have worked. Let's see. Oh, God, what went wrong? Oh, man. She didn't ask any of that. I mean, how many people did I have to send to her that she didn't even, like, God, I don't understand. That's my sister. I'm pretty sure that guy who was in her life that she suddenly ran away from was going to help her out. Well, he wanted to help her out, but back to free will. And it's a thing. Some people make decisions for themselves, and unfortunately, they don't make always the right decisions. You can't blame them. It's a thing. Aw, man, sister, this. Okay, maybe I got a new solution. All right. There it is. There it is. Remember Minority Report? He was able to do that, be able to take in, go forward, go backward, go forward. If you haven't seen it, it was Steven Spielberg, great director, came up with this thing, these like gloves, which I think they have in heaven, like a spiritual heaven thing, right? Like an iPad, right? You know, but it's like, if you watch The Matrix, it's the same thing. It's towards the end when they're like, right, in the white room controlling things. It's a cool moment. People are like, where did that white room come from, right? Which, because it was all dilapidated, and then they're in this white room all of a sudden. Like, what part of anyway, watch it, Matrix, the third one, okay? So they're in this room doing that, okay? And I think they have that in heaven pretty much. So they got this control panel, right? Okay, all right, boom, done. All right, I'm pretty sure that's going to work. They go away the very next day. Oh, come on, really? 2 months passed. Nothing, no change, no nothing. God, can you help me out? Oh, man, I was waiting for you to ask me help. No, I can't. My hands are tied. You have no idea. Free will. I'm having you help because you know her best than I do, technically. But here's what you don't know about her. Oh, she's prideful. Yep, that's going to get into there. Every single time I try to help my servants, it's always pride. And I talk about it in the book. I talk about it. Pride before a fall comes a crash. So I tell people, be kind, be humble, be nice. They accept direction. They accept when they don't want to be prideful. But boy, oh boy, you should have listened to Aaron's story. Aaron's story, he learned early on, don't be prideful. Even though his shoes were talking, he took my angel's servant there named Phil Hernandez, and he himself says, in his heart, trust me, watch, this was his heart at the moment. We had that control panel. That was his heart. He wanted to say, oh, shoot, I look like a fool. I thought nobody knew I was poor. I was so dumb. I should have taped that up or done something or gotten them resold for less than $10. Seriously, now he knows, but whatever. $5. Special. So, it's a thing. Just so you know, I should have known that. I didn't know that. It's a thing. But it taught me a valuable lesson. Back to Phil Hernandez. I said Phil Hernandez to him, and he ended up, in his heart, appreciating that so much so, guess what? Fast forward. Whoop, there's a person asking for a handout of $1,500. Watch this. Press play. Wow. Watch this. The guy says he'll pay him back. Doesn't pay him back. Watch. He hides from him. But watch what my servant does. I love this guy. There it is. He said, don't worry about it. You don't have to pay me back. Why, you ask? Well, in his mind, and it's true, you give without expecting a payment in return. To which he doesn't give out money now because he doesn't have enough. But long story short, whenever he gave it with the expectation of never getting it paid back. And if he did get paid back, great, because he realized something in life. Watch, this was a moment where he asked for money. Here it is, watch, press play. He fell on rock bottom times. Here was his friend who he had a lot. He knew he had a lot. He had a lot of money. Well, that friend, there it is, was asking for money back. And he couldn't pay it. Watch what happens. There was wisdom imparted to his friend. His friend talked to somebody else and said, I don't know what to do. He owes me a lot of money. It was about $350, okay? $350. He owes me $350 for the security system. Okay, well, yeah, maybe you should just forgive him. Maybe he can't pay you back. What? Yeah, I never thought about that. I do have a lot of money. Okay. He goes to Aaron. Watch this. He goes to Aaron, true story, by the way, and calls him out on it. But here's what he says. Watch. You know what? I wanted to be mad at you, but then I talked to somebody and they says, you know what? Maybe he can't pay you back. So you know what? Don't worry about it. It's just $350. And you know what? I still love you at the end of the day. I know you don't mean it bad. I accept your apology. He had to apologize in front of his wife at the time, by the way. It was embarrassing. Woo. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I don't, or I forgot, or I don't. I'm so sorry. Can I pay you back in payments? That was, you know what? And I think he was testing me. He wanted to see what I was going to say, right? I think he was testing me. But he says this at the end of the day. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. No, I'm going to pay you back. No. I don't want you to pay me back. Just do the right thing. He never said that. But that's what I interpreted it to be. And in that moment, I learned something because he said something to me. He says, you know, sometimes we give, but we give to be expected to get paid back. And sometimes I see you doing a lot of stuff for other people, but I was kind of foolish to expect that money back right away. Keep it. Are you kidding me? Yeah, just keep it. No, I got to pay you back. I know, but you know what? Don't worry about it. He walked away. Never saw him after that. He moved back to his country where he was from. But here's the reality. In that moment, I realized something very important. Never give of money that you don't expect to already lose, especially when the person needing it really needs it. Back to the other family friend. He was a family of quite a large family. And he didn't need $1,500, he needed $2,000, okay? But he couldn't pay it back in time. I thought, well, he had a good job. I actually hooked him up with the job. He only was there a week because he found it frustrating. And I was like, oh, you can make the money back in no time. It's 100% done. You can make it back quite quick. You could. 3 sales. Done. You'd be able to pay me back 100%. There you go. Hooked him up with the job, too. Gave him money, hooked him up with the job. He lost the job a week later. Not going to lie, it was kind of embarrassing. They were like, why? He just kind of up and quit. He didn't even tell us why. Oh, I recommended him for the job, but it's okay. He got stressed out. I get it. Not good with numbers. It's okay. Good man, good heart, wonderful man. Went back to his $11 an hour paying job. Very humble man. I respect that man to this day. Work a lot of hours to be responsible. And because I knew his situation, honestly, I didn't care that he was dodging me because I've been there. I get it. We borrow money with the intention to pay it back. And sometimes our friends who haven't paid us back, sometimes you're like, how come they haven't paid me back? Why don't you reverse it and say, you know what? I shouldn't have given it if I can't afford to give it. So give it with the thought you're never going to get it back. And you'll be okay. Now there's friends that have come to me and I say, well, I can't give you the whole amount, but I can give you a percentage of what you're asking for. But that's all I can give you because I'm kind of on tough times myself. Okay. So I give what I can with the expectation it's not going to come back. It's okay. Use it. You obviously need it. And if I have it, I'll give it. Back to the homeless man. The homeless man or woman, thank you, steps away, walks away. Never see her again. But which is more haughty? Which is more humble? The man who came, give me the money, give me the money, give me the money. Well, here's some water. I don't want, okay. If you had real kids at home, part of a story, who don't have food, you probably would have asked for food and been okay with the water and probably not even drinking it yourself, who you said was in the vehicle. You pretty much would have probably given it to your kids, would you have not? Fake. Real. Thank you. The mother or father takes it to the young one. Here you go. We got food for another day, Johnny. There's a lot of Johnnies in the world, but what about the Sues? Sue finally accepts help. Finally humbles her heart. Finally says, you know what? I thought I knew. I didn't know. You know, there's some people that go through life that say, well, I had to learn. Well, I had to learn. And God's right there going, not really. I mean, you just had to learn patience, kindness, faith, mildness, self-control, and love, which is what I am all about. And when you focus on those things, guess what? You'll be better off instead of always thinking you know what to do, what's right for you. Just be humble. Just be kind. And just be loving. You don't even have to remember all those. That's a long, long list. Just be kind, just be humble, and just love. Okay? Exude that in your life. And at the end of the day, no matter what you go through in life, you exude those 3 things throughout life, you can't go wrong. You really can't. Sometimes I don't get paid a lot of money, but I get paid in other ways. I've always said that. Things always come, sometimes instantaneous. Sometimes I don't know where I'm going to put my head down. Suddenly an opportunity comes up. I take it. I don't know where I'm going to be broadcasting from as of Wednesday, to be honest. My time here is up. But I have faith because I've never been without. Either somebody calls out of the blue, either somebody says, hey, I think you need some help. Either somebody recommends something to someone and it just makes sense. Sometimes people make recommendations and it doesn't make sense, and I had to turn down a couple of offers. It just didn't make sense. Because when you know, you'll know. Sometimes you just have faith. And sometimes you just have to hope. And sometimes you just have to continue to pray. But at the end of the day, are you grateful? Are you grateful? To which I think God, in essence, says this when we are grateful. Hey, Johnny. Aren't you glad your sister finally got help? So much. She has no idea how much work I did here. Oh, she'll find out one day, trust me, because she's got a daughter on the way. How do you know that, God? I know all. I'm just trying not to fast forward to the end. I'm hoping they'll do the right thing. Press play. Johnny looks at the play button. You see that? Yeah. I love her. So I'm an uncle. Well, you know, I mean, she talks about you a lot to her. But here's the thing. That hasn't happened yet. Huh? That's a potential outcome. She has one of 3 outcomes left. What does that mean? It's a thing that we do up here in heaven. We have different paths, okay? People can choose different paths all the time. Some of them don't even realize they have a really good path, a middle path, and a really bad path. Sometimes it's just 3. What do you mean by that? It's called free will. Okay, it's free will. It's a thing up here in heaven. We really think one day we should do away with it, but it's free will. We don't want to be robots. I do what I'm told, right? So that's the thing, right? But it really, when people get bad information or evil information, that's the 3rd road. You see that guy? Yeah. That guy comes back into her life. Not a physical guy, the evil guy, right? He's got followers all over the world. And he's got human followers too. Nobody talks about it, but he's double-tongued. So he basically, that one, that's the 3rd road she goes down if we don't interject right here, right now. But she still has the right to choose that because free will and all. We kind of tied my hands. They don't want to listen to me. They never wanted to listen to me to begin with, evidently. They trusted him, not me. That's how my hands got tied. So, you know, some still throughout life try to get to me, and they do a lot of stuff to get to me, and, well, you know, like allow them to, and then they start listening. Some still disobey, but whatever. No judgment. Back to that guy. So that's the 3rd option. But the first one is the best option. You know why? Why? She ends up with a really good man, and They stay married for their daughter. She's not happy with him in the end because she just chooses a certain type of guy. But you know what? But that honestly for her is actually numero uno, the best for her. Not for this guy over there, but for her that works, okay? You got it? Okay. Everybody's life is different. Everybody's life choices, patterns from birth up, really. It's true what they say. You are who you are based on the life choices you make throughout life. Not predestined, okay? The second one is the middle ground. Kind of not really all evil, somewhat evil, but here's the problem. You know how you had that addiction? She has that addiction? That's actually in your DNA. Not true. It's in the drug. But the second option, she goes with the other guy. And that guy, well, she has a son from him, and then press play. Okay, there it is. There it is. There it is. Let's push pause. Okay, so that's how we kind of calculate. We don't go all the way to the end because that's kind of cheating, and we don't want to cheat because it's called rules I made up, and wish I didn't. But anyway, so there you go. All right, so there you go. Those are the three options that she has. Those are really the only three paths. Sometimes people surprise us. But human behavior is pretty predictable, and we've been watching her for quite some time. I mean, you want to see from her as a baby? You're not ready to see that. But look, we need a certain set of things to happen in order for hopefully to choose option A, the first one. Hopefully she chooses option A, not D. What do you mean D? D is death. But that is basically only if she chooses option C, because C leads to option D. Do you understand what we're saying? C leads to her eventual death, and her baby is dead as well, because the baby never gets born. You understand? Oh, well, what can we do to get option C not even on the thing? It's a hard thing. She's been option C so much more of her life. She doesn't know how to be option A. So you need to really up the ante over there, up the ante, okay? But remember, free will, it's really just, it's the thing that people think they love. And at the end of the day, this is why they pray, and then I send them people, and then people come into their life, and then they go, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I'm haughty, I know what to do, I don't care about anybody else. And by the way, this is why you're put on this earth. You're put on this earth to be guided, led, and or misled. Don't be misled to believing lies out there. This drug, don't worry about it. It's on me, right? Teach your children the difference. Some get taught and they still get peer pressure, right? Put more good into their life. But don't abandon them. Be in their life. Don't push them to the side for your own career and or your own pursuits in life. Because at the end of the day, you may have $1 billion, back to the billionaire, okay? In this life, Johnny actually made all the right choices, and he became a billionaire overnight. Johnny didn't have that terrible situation. This was his option A billionaire. Yeah, you did a lot of good, right? Yeah, I did a lot of good. Boy, oh boy, gave to so many nonprofits. My God, we did a lot of good together, right? Yeah, you did so much good together. Wow. Okay, so tell you what, Johnny's a billionaire. Let me show you something in your house you didn't know at the time of your death. This is moment by moment right now. Why is my daughter doing that? Honestly, you gave her a lot of money, and she just spent it all on drugs. You know, there's such things you don't even want to know about as a human father. But yeah, made a lot of other people happy, but kind of hurt your own kid in the process. What do you mean? Well, you were so preoccupied with making so much money, you never spent the right amount of time. Remember when she came? There was a moment. There it is. She came to you asking for help, and you kind of shunned her away. You kind of said, "I'm too busy." Remember that? You don't remember? Oh, there's a little device here. It's super tiny. But here, put it on your forehead. Boop. All right, you're going to see everything from her angle. But we're going to not show you from birth, because that's weird. We're just going to show you all the moments she really needed you, but you thought you were too busy. Press play. We good? All right. Happens. Flash. Crazy technology in heaven. So, Johnny. Oh, I should have just helped her out. I was never that busy. If I would have known this to be the result, I would have. What'd you have? Yeah. Well, you can't go back and do it. Or can you? No. So, Johnny, yeah. She needs help. I know you're a billionaire on the earth, but we all know we don't need money up here because, heaven. So, Johnny, yeah, there's a control booth right, and you get where we're going with this. We're all created equal. We're all meant to do a lot of work behind the scenes, or not, whatever you choose to believe. But that's my theory on it, and I'm going to stick to it, okay? Because at the end of the day, we have a lot of jobs to do here on this earth. You may not have a lot of money. You may have $1 billion. But whatever you have, do you give of your time? Do you give of yourself? Do you give of your help? I hope you do. And I hope you have a great day. I'm out of time. Again, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. Thank you for spending time with us, and we'll see you again tomorrow. But remember this. I'll leave you with this. I know it's kind of like a buzzkill little moment, anticlimactic, right? I've run out of time. My battery's about to go out. That's why. Here's what I know. In life, remember one thing. Love one another. Help one another out. Because you never know what each other needs. And or doesn't even know they need. You might be the one that the angel is trying to prod to help someone else out by sharing your own story of grief, of sadness, of madness, of angry, and how you will eventually overcome it. But you need to overcome it first. And then when you overcome it, you'll be able to share that with the person who comes into your own life that almost for some reason, inexplicably, you, but at a younger age. It's weird, right? People that have overcome things suddenly have more people coming to them. Isn't that weird? It's almost like somebody has a control panel up in heaven trying to bring the people that have had those problems to the people, hoping that they'll help them out. Yeah, so don't keep silent when you have like a problem or a substance abuse. Don't become silent. Help others out, because guess what? You'll do more good by helping the 5 other people that come into your life, and you say, you know what? I understand what it's like to be rock bottom. Let me help you out. Come here. Adios, people.